Hi, I'm Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. So for this week's reading, I am using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, and I can't wait to see what cards come up for us this week. So my intention, as always, is to get an overview of the week ahead and the energies, the opportunities that might come up for us so that we can best prepare and make the most of things. So I'm just going to give my cards a little bit of a shuffle here. And if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm so honored to be your tarot reader today. And if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to my channel or leave me a comment. It really helps me out. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing 3 cards for the week ahead. What do we need to know this week? What cards want to come forward and speak to us? Okay, so we've got 3 cards. And the first card is for the beginning of the week, so Monday, Tuesday-ish. And we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is what I would call a very high energy card. So Knight of Wands, as you can see, this woman is, she's banging on her drums, the horse is jumping in the background. This is all about getting inspired, feeling inspired, but really like revving your energy up. So the beginning of the week is a good time it's not about recharging your batteries, it's like charging yourself up, getting yourself excited about something, revving things up. So what inspires you? What gets your energy overflowing? What excites you? Is it playing certain music? Is it dancing? Is it moving your body? Is it, maybe reading certain books or getting outside? Like, what is it that brings your energy up? And the Knight of Wands is also about tapping into what inspires you, like tapping into the things that light you up, that get you going, that inspire you creatively and in other ways as well. So what inspires you? Once you figure that out and once you can tap into that energy, it's really going to add fuel to your week. And it's going to help you decide, what should you be focusing on? Where should you be putting your energy? All of that good stuff. And you might actually find that you have more motivation this week than other weeks. So if you've been struggling with motivation, this is a nice card to get because Knight of Wands is definitely very motivated. I also think of Knight of Wands as being a card of adventure and quest. And if you're feeling a little lost and you're needing a little guidance, you're needing a little focus, having something to quest for, like having a goal or something to focus on, can really help you get focused. It can really help you kind of put things in perspective and organize things. Also, the other thing I get with this card, like I said, this is a card of adventure. And we all need a little bit of an adventure sometimes. We all need to feel like life is an adventure. So how can you bring more of a sense of adventure into your day-to-day life? And I will leave that with you to figure out, to contemplate. Okay, so my next card for the middle of the week, so kind of Wednesday, Thursday-ish, is the High Priestess. So we have our Major Arcana card here. So the High Priestess. I love this card. This is one of my favorites. And I'm really noticing 2 things on this card. So I'm noticing that she has her eyes closed, but on her eyelids, we see our pupils. So she's seeing through closed eyes, which is so powerful. And that's actually a lucid dreaming technique, is being able to close your eyes and then see images and dreamlike things with closed eyes. So it's a meditation and a lucid dreaming technique. So the other thing that I notice is the line of lights here, and then the pink thing above her head. It feels like that is a channel. That's like an intuitive channel that is fully open. So she has this channel, and so she's maybe channeling her higher self perhaps, or something, universal wisdom, and she has her eyes closed, but she's seeing through closed eyelids. So the high priestess, I believe, is here to remind you that you have intuition. You have this ability that the high priestess is demonstrating. You have this ability to channel, to connect to higher consciousness, to connect to your soul, your higher self, to connect to deeper, more expansive wisdom. And you have the power to see through closed eyelids, whether that is in an intuitive way or just a creative way. But you have this ability. It's not just special people that can do this. You also can do this. And the high priestess is inviting you to explore these realms if this is something you're interested in. And I realize not everyone is interested in exploring their intuition. Not everyone is interested in, connecting to their higher self. But I'm guessing because you're watching this video and you're looking at tarot content online, you're probably drawn to a lot of this stuff. So the high priestess is inviting you to explore that part of yourself this week. It's also an invitation to move inward. But the high priestess also says, you don't need to wear your heart on your sleeve. You don't need to reveal everything about yourself to everyone. It's okay to be a little bit secretive. It's okay to be a little more introverted this week. And what I like actually is that the Knight of Wands is kind of opposite in a lot of ways to the high priestess. So Knight of Wands is more extroverted, more lively, more of a physical card, whereas high priestess she kind of has the opposite kind of quality. She's more introverted. She's more intuitive. So I feel like there's some nice kind of balance. We have the best of both worlds with both of these cards. Okay, so let's have a look at card number 3. This is the card for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we have the 8 of Pentacles here. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is a card of working consistently. I used to say it was about working hard, but I don't think it's about hard work. It's about working on something consistently, and it's about the power of habits. The power of habits. It's the things that we do on a day-to-day basis, whether those are habits, patterns, rituals, but it's those little acts that we do every day that are tremendously powerful in our lives. These are the things that really move us forward. These are the things that help us shift certain energies. So pay attention to your day-to-day habits. What are the things that you do every day? And it could be small things. It doesn't have to be big things, but like, what are the things that you do every day? 8 of Pentacles is saying, pay attention to that. So if there's something that you want to create, if there's something you want to change or shift, or just simply something that you want to start doing, how can you develop a small habit, or maybe more than one, maybe a couple little habits that will support you in that? And focusing more on habits as a way to move forward and change things, as opposed to big acts. Those big, sexy acts and changes that we make can be great, but it's actually the day-to-day habits that have that lasting ability to help us create change and move forward. Another thing I'm noticing with the 8 of Pentacles, it looks like the woman on this card is getting ready to craft a spell or to do some kind of a ritual. She's lit her candle. She's got bowls of it looks like dried herbs and flowers and things. And then there's like stacks of paper, there's a plant, there's a feather pen. It almost looks like she's getting ready to do some kind of spell or ritual. And to me, that also just makes me think of the magical ability of daily habits and how that can be so powerful. Okay, let's look at all three of these cards here. Okay, so I've got Knight of Wands, and I want to make room. Let's move over a little bit. I'm gonna make room on my screen to put these cards up so that you can see them all. Okay, so we've got Knight of Wands, High Priestess, Eight of Pentacles. These are all pretty powerful cards. Like the Knight of Wands says that you have the ability to move forward. That's something I didn't say the first time I read this card. So notice that when I read the card the first time and then when I come back to the card, once all the cards are turned over, I think of new things to say. So that is just, if you're learning tarot, that's something to keep in mind. Reading a card, when you first turn it over, you're going to see certain things. And then once all the cards are turned over, coming back to that original card, you're going to have this different perspective on that card. So now that I'm looking at the Knight of Wands in the context of the other cards, I see that this is a card about moving forward this week. So this week has a lot of potential when it comes to forward movement and forward momentum. And the thing that's going to help you move forward, and I have this feeling like some of you watching maybe have felt pretty stuck and stagnant in certain areas. And this week, things are going to get underway, probably, most likely. Things are going to start to move and shift. And the Knight of Wands is saying that the thing that's going to help you move forward is tapping into what you're passionate about, what inspires you, what revs you up, what gets you excited. Tapping into that energy. And even if, like, one thing that really excites me is drawing and doing artwork. And so having a regular practice of doing that, maybe for 10 minutes a day, it really like adds this extra energy and this extra zip to my day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Doing something that you find fun and inspiring, something that lights you up, even just doing it for a little bit each day, really like adds this extra dimension to your day. And so that's where like these two cards, like the card of habits, Eight of Pentacles, and the card of moving forward really comes in. And then with the High Priestess, this is an invitation to move inward and to honor your intuitive side and recognize yourself as someone who has psychic ability. You have intuitive ability. Everybody does to some extent. And the High Priestess is inviting you to move inward and consult with your inner realms. So your inner realms could be your soul, your higher self, your spirit guides, God, the universe, however you like to think of it. It's moving inward and consulting with those inner realms. And then we get to the end of the week, Eight of Pentacles. On the weekend, this is a good time to assess or reassess your habits, your daily habits, your weekly habits, and really pay attention, like really notice, like, what are my habits? And you'll notice that you probably have some really good habits that support you. And you might also have some bad habits that are not supportive of what you're wanting to create or the direction that you're wanting to go in. And Eight of Pentacles isn't necessarily you saying that you have to like change your habits this weekend, but become aware of them. Become aware of the role that your habits are playing in your life. And I'm just going to look at all three to see if there's anything else I want to mention. And nope, I think I've mentioned everything. Yeah, so I'm going to close the reading here. And as always, feel free to comment and let me know what you thought of this reading. Let me know if you saw something different in the cards. If there was a particular message that you heard with these cards, feel free to share. If you had a different take or a similar take, feel free to share in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful, and have a wonderful week.